I think it's super important. I mean, we give them a lot of rope because within reason, because we still want them to follow our guidelines and the culture that we've created for our auto group. So I can't have them going against our culture in any way. But the end goal is that you want each salesperson to be their own ambassador of their product, and that's almost, that's their own business, as that's their clientele, and you want them to treat it like it's their own business, it's their own baby. Yeah, we give them a lot of rope, but like I said, I mean, obviously we want them to follow the culture that we created in our COT group. But yeah, just to kind of repeat, I want them to be their own ambassador of the brand.
Absolutely. And what do you think, Ralph?
I think we're going to spend a lot more time on it, and that's part of coming here and getting some visions and ideas from some other guys. I mean, I know Jeff over there because I don't know him, but I feel like I know him. Yeah. And I want more of that in the dealership. I think that's super important to get them to the point, and maybe they don't get to where Jeff got to, but if I pulled into Sault Ste. Marie, and Jeff knows I had a friend that worked there, I would probably buy the car from Jeff because I've interacted more with Jeff watching his videos. It's super important.
How important do you think that is, Tyler? Personal branding.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, to use Jeff as an example, he's a General Motors guy, and I'm a General Motors guy as well. I learned stuff from watching his videos that I didn't know about the vehicles that I order for my own dealership.
Wow.
The differences between certain trim levels or a certain package, how a Chev has a different package versus a GM. I mean, I like I said, I'm the inventory manager for our store as well as the sales manager, meaning I order all of our new car inventory, and I learn stuff from watching his videos. And I think there's, like you said, Ralph, there needs to be more people doing that. They might not get to the level that Jeff. I mean, if you have ever been on LinkedIn, then you know who Jeff is. I don't know anyone who has more connections than him. I don't even understand it really. But yeah, it's there definitely needs to be more of that, and he has some great tips as well about how to manage a social media profile. It's not just every picture you post is of the delivery car. People are that's not an interesting profile to look at. That's going to look like a yearbook photo of a bunch of different vehicles, right? It's got to be product reviews, or maybe here's a new tip, or here, check out this new trade we got. That's very interesting as well. So even if it's not specifically to the brand you're working for, as long as it's interesting and maybe even outside the box thinking a little bit, that's super important to, again, with an online world where showroom traffic's at an all-time low.
Can I just add to that? I think that's very important. What you talked about is, you talk about Jeff, being what he does. I mean, obviously there's Raj that does what he does. I think it's important because it helps dealerships. Rather than just talk about brand loyalty, it's auto loyalty, right? I've learned stuff from, looking at a Hyundai, or if I'm looking at Honda, or if I'm looking at Toyota, whatever. I learn. And that's what's the most important thing. We talk about brand loyalty from a customer standpoint, but if you talk about brand loyalty from a dealer standpoint, especially you're talking about LinkedIn, I think it's phenomenal. I think the tool is phenomenal because you learn, like if I look at Jeff's videos, I'll be like, wow, I mean, I'm not a truck guy, but now I am, right? If I look at the luxury aspect and I look at what Raj Day does, I go, oh wow, I never knew that was happening. It's all about the learning, and I think Ted Lancaster would agree with me because Ted was my first connection on LinkedIn. And he always told me, his first thing that he told me and I was like, wow, the key, at that time he was Kia Canada CEO, he just wrote, he's like, just keep going with it, keep learning. And that's what the thing that has always resonated with me is the fact that loyalty stands not just with the brand, but with the professionals within the industry. And I think that's important.
Absolutely.
It's the awareness, right?
Yeah,
And being
right.
top of mind. Like if you were in the north and you were talking about trucks and you have seen any of Jeff Hunter's videos, or better yet, asked a friend.
That's right.
Hey, where do I go to buy a truck?
So every salesperson should be on LinkedIn,
100%.
Oh yeah.
right?
100%.
And do you recommend Facebook as well? Do you recommend 2 or 3 platforms? Is it LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram?
The more social media, the better.
Yeah, even
TikTok.
Even TikTok now. I mean,
They're starting to post GM ads on there.
Yeah, there's, it's advertising space that now, I mean, you look at, anyone with a TikTok account can have a video go viral and start getting a following. It's not easy, but it's definitely probably the way the algorithm works. It's probably the easiest way to go viral without any other influences.
It's probably less expensive now before they start charging a pile for it.
Yeah,
like
and
Facebook.
also, and to go back to my earlier point about how the attention spans, you could doing an entire car video or review on a vehicle in 30 or 60 seconds is super valuable. That's something that someone can swipe through and go, I didn't know that, or that's cool, or hey, I think that's my local dealer. I'm in the market for a new vehicle. Like you said, I mean, TikTok and Instagram and that type
Whether
of stuff.
they share with their parents or they bring that knowledge even to their parents who are the car buyers at that time, right?